Sure, sir. Let's hold on for a few more minutes.
Sure.
아무리 ഭയങ്കര സ്മെല്ല് എനിക്ക് കിട്ടിയില്ല ചിലപ്പോൾ തണ്ണി
ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ
All right, sir. I think we can start.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
On behalf of General Mills, welcome to the pre-placement talk, which is being conducted by Yugma. And thank you all for your interest in this opportunity. And I hope that at the end of this presentation, you shall come away feeling more convinced about the opportunity and the company. So before we start with the company, a quick, just one moment. Just one moment, not able to move the slides.
ये तुम लोग बन क्या गए?
Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Can you also please mute the other participants if that's possible? I think we're getting some noise.
Sir, if you don't mind, can you zoom it?
Yeah, I'm trying to, but I'm hoping the
Yeah.
slide
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
visible, sir. It's visible.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just a quick introduction about myself. I have been in retail and e-commerce for close to 3 decades now, and have worked across consulting firms, corporates, and startups in the retail and e-commerce and consumer goods space. And have studied at IIT. Nika, can you please mute the other participants if that's possible? I think we're getting some noise from somewhere. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to General Mills. A quick overview. General Mills is one of the largest food companies in the world, and it is over 150 years of legacy with over 40,000 employees in over 100 countries spanning 6 continents. So that should give you a sense of the geographical spread and the historical legacy that it brings with it. In terms of more current numbers, the company has revenue of over 20 billion US dollars in the various markets that it operates in across the world. This 150-year journey also has brought with it over 150 brands in its portfolio across various categories in the food space. And we shall look at some of these brands in a bit. Now, before looking at the brands and the geographies and all of that, I think it's important to understand the core values and the principles which drive the organization. And this is something which is very critical for a company which has such a large presence in so many different markets, so many different cultures, that the company should have a common, consistent, and core value system which it brings to bear in every market around the world. So, just to touch upon the purpose of why the company exists, as they say in their statement, we serve the world by making food people love, and very clearly mentions the focus and the markets it plays in, which is the food segment, and the company sees itself as serving people food that they love. In terms of the pursuits or the company's mission, put people first, build a culture of creating, make food with passion, earn people's trust, and treat the world with care. And these are some of the core tenets of the company, which we shall also look at in a bit more detail in terms of how how these manifest in what the company does. In terms of the core values, do the right thing all the time, win together, along with all its stakeholders, its employees, its trade partners, channel partners, and so on. Continuously innovate in various products that it brings to the table for customers, in the ways of doing business, and all of that. Champion belonging, again, very critical for those of you who are looking at working with this company in terms of building trust and belonging for the organization. Let's take a quick look at the global presence. So the company being headquartered in North America is clearly North America is the largest market, where it has two large segments. One is the retail, and the other is the North America food service. Food service covers all the restaurants, hotels, quick service restaurants, bakeries, and so on. So that is all part of the food service market. And retail, of course, as you know, comprises all the supermarkets, hypermarkets, convenience stores, and various other channels that exist, including e-commerce. Right? And then there is the pet foods division as well, which is the third thing which you see on the right side. And then you have the international markets, which we shall see in more detail subsequently. But what you need to note here is that all of these different markets are supported and enabled by certain global capabilities and global functions. And this is something which is very key to ensuring that the company has a common and consistent presence across the different markets that it operates in. So these global capabilities comprise the strategy and growth, e-commerce, and revenue management, whereas the global functions are the various things like human resources, legal, finance, and technology, and so on. So these are all core capabilities and functions uh, which support the market operations in various countries across the world. Looking at the international, how is the international division structured? So comprises EU and Australia as one division, Brazil, China, and then what we call GEMS, which is the Global Emerging Markets. Global Emerging Markets currently comprises India, South Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and distributor markets, which is what DIMA stands for, which are various assorted smaller markets across Africa, Latin America, and Asia. Are what you see in the which are consolidated under the DIMA umbrella, right? Uh, moving on from the geographical spread to the brand portfolio. And here you see some of the major brands in the portfolio. Of course, as I mentioned, there are over 150. So Pillsbury is one of the largest brands in the portfolio, and you see that in India also it has had a presence for a longish time now in various categories, including Atta is where it has the strongest presence in India. Then you have the Haagen-Dazs, which is the ice cream, which is a luxury ice cream brand, very premium, also present in India. Cheerios, Old El Paso, Nature Valley, cereal, granola bars, etc. And Churros, Blue. So these are some of the top brands in the portfolio across the world. Looking at the global emerging markets, as I mentioned, that comprises Hong Kong, Taiwan, India, South Korea, and the distributor markets, which are spread across 7 time zones, encompass over 85 countries, 20 languages, and 25 nationalities, and over 3,000 employees work in this division. So this is clearly a very significant business for General Mills. And this is something which should tell you about how the company operates in the various markets. It is not just about reaching out in those markets and putting its brand portfolio, which has worked in other markets, and bringing it into those markets. The company has also a very strong focus on innovation in each of the local markets that it operates in. The large ones, obviously, not in any of the smaller ones. But when you see the innovation centers, you see them spread across North America, Europe, China, Australia, South America, and of course, India. So they have an innovation center in Mumbai, which also has been working on developing a local product assortment in terms of localizing the various products which are there in its portfolio, as well as innovation in terms of the ways of doing business, because as you know, India may have a very different market structure from various other more developed markets around the world, and therefore how to do business, and even in terms of technology, etc. There are the innovation center in Mumbai also works on many of these aspects. In terms of the in terms of the India vision, for General Mills, India is seen as a profitable growth driver. That is what it intends to be. And that will be achieved through 4 core pillars. First is to accelerate the core brands in a consumer-first manner. Core brands in India are Pillsbury, Haagen-Dazs, Betty Crocker, and Nature Valley, which have had a presence in India now for some time. Second is through portfolio expansion, which entails geographical expansion into markets, as well as expanding its capabilities to service those markets through manufacturing and supply chain locations, and spreading those across the country. Third pillar is to fund our future through mix and margin management. And given that there is a large portfolio of brands, as you know, I'm sure you would have studied about the BCG matrix of stars and cash cows and so on. So managing such a large portfolio of brands entails managing this portfolio in a manner that generates cash as well as affords future growth opportunities for the business. Win with the mind of a multinational, heart of a startup. So this is something which, as you know, with such a large global presence, but in the various local markets it operates in, the company has a very strong focus on operating like a startup in terms of agility, in terms of innovation, and in terms of having a structure which enables the company to, where every person counts. So this is really what is very core to the growth of General Mills in India. Looking at the product portfolio a bit more closely. So here you see the categories that they operate in India. So atta is the core category, which comprises various variants of Pillsbury and Sujata. So of course you would have seen those variants like chakki atta and multigrain and so on and so forth, right? And there are also moved into certain adjacencies like the Rava Suji, right? Then the next large segment is the ready to cook and the ready to eat segment, where the company has cake mixes, dessert mixes, pancake mixes, as well as granola bars under its various brands. Third large segment is the frozen segment for the retail and B2B, which comprises, of course, the Haagen-Dazs ice creams, as well as frozen products like tawa chapati and microwavable rotis, which have been introduced under the brand Sujata. So here you see some manifestation of the local product innovation that the company has undertaken for the Indian market. And then there is the baking mix. Now, one of the things here you should understand is that the company has a very strong uh, uh, play in the bakery segment. So, with as you can see, things like bake mixes and cake mixes, and so it has a range of bakery products which it targets to the bakery segment, which of course comprises various neighborhood bakeries as well as bakeries within restaurants and hotels, right? So there are products which are catering to this segment as well. In terms of the sales footprint, so you see here presence across 25 states, 225 cities, serviced by a 200 plus sales team. 300 plus distributors for the bakery segment and 120 distributors for the retail sales segment. So here again, you see the company has a very, very salient presence in the bakery segment. Strong presence across the country, across all regions, north, west, south, and east. East is the focus is on bakeries. Given the relatively premium position of the product and the nature of products, the company has so far had a large focus on the metro cities, but now it is expanding into the smaller tier 1, 2, 3 cities as well. In terms of channels, it has a very strong presence in the traditional and modern format stores, so which comprises both your kiranas in terms of the traditional as well as modern format stores, including the supermarkets and the hypermarkets, like say Reliance Smart and so on. It also has a very strong presence in the B2B and institutional sales. And of course, over the last few years, the company has also had a strong focus on building up its presence in the e-commerce channels, and particularly after the pandemic, where e-commerce really took off in India, and most brands saw very strong growth. And for General Mills as well, along with the growth in e-commerce during the pandemic, you might have heard of, or maybe some of you might have seen it at close quarters. A lot of home baking took off, right? People were stuck at home and they were trying out one of their favorite pastimes was baking at home, right? So that's really when this home baking segment in India really took off. And that, of course, was enabled a lot to a large extent by e-commerce channels. What sets General Mills apart? And as I spoke about earlier, the mind of a multinational and the heart of a startup. And in terms of how that manifests itself, in terms of the mind of a multinational, it allows you to tap into the global scale, enables building global careers, cross-functional movement, and a strong ecosystem across various markets in various stages of development, right? From the very well-developed markets through to emerging markets, right? And that enables the company to bring practices which work, say in India. In India, you have a very interesting mix of, modern retail as well as the traditional kirana channels, and now you see e-commerce also flourishing, right? So bringing the ability to bring best practices and innovation from various parts of the market world where it already operates, I think that is very core to leveraging its global capabilities. At the same time, the heart of a startup implies more risk taking, more innovation, visibility to leadership, given that it has a relatively small organization in India, and the opportunity to have fast track careers, right? So that is how the company positions itself with the heart of a startup. Culture of belonging, which I spoke about earlier. So as you can see here, that is the company has a lot of large focus on employee engagement in the various geographies that it operates in. Local events, initiatives which are undertaken regularly to ensure that all the team is on board with what the company's mission, vision, and purpose is. And we shall see that a bit more in a bit more.
Purpose, people, planet. Yes, we are called General Mills. But what we create is really special. Working with heart is our core ingredient. But ever wonder what we're working towards? Yeah, all that. But the truth is, we're working towards you. Because when you're at your best, so is General Mills. We have more than 30,000 employees around the world.
Wow.
But only you can be you. We're not just one of the world's biggest names in the food industry.
Humble brag.
We're definitely not all about hierarchies either. Because our leaders work, learn and grow with you.
It's true.
Yes, we are driven by a purpose. To make food that delights every human and their pets. Using actions that make a positive difference in our communities and for our planet. And creating a cultural recipe that lets you be you.
Ooh, nice touch.
Because it takes each one of you, every kind of you, to create the signature dish we call General Mills. One of the largest food companies in the world, making food the world loves. And we're hungry for what's next. Are you? Purpose.
Moving on to the aspect of being a responsible corporate citizen. The company has a very strong focus on CSR as well in all the markets. And as far as India is concerned, it is focusing on certain geographies which are currently Mumbai, Nasik, and Madhya Pradesh. In terms of the initiatives that it is supporting, one, increasing food security through working with food banks. Second, regenerating ecosystems, conserving natural resources. And thirdly, strengthening hometown communities, which are the local communities where the company operates, right? And this it does through multiple events and initiatives which are sponsored by the company and supported and enabled by the volunteers from the company's employees. So there is a very uh, significant employee volunteerism within the company for these various social initiatives.
All across Asia, Africa, and Latin America, General Mills and our employees are making a powerful difference to ensure that our communities and the environment we depend on can flourish for generations to come. In Brazil, our partnership with Instituto Melhores Dias has made an impact on the lives of school children by providing nourishing school meals, gardens, and wellness programs, while our support of Imaflora will help Brazilian farmers to grow their crops in ways that are good for them and the planet. In India, we support the World Food Program to reduce childhood malnutrition because we know school meals are one of the best ways to ensure children have a healthy start to life. And we've expanded our partnership to now impact preschool children in rural China so that they will learn and thrive. Through our partnerships with CARE in West Africa and Positive Planet in Madagascar, we improve the livelihoods of the smallholder farmers who grow the cocoa and vanilla we use in our products and care for the earth that we depend on. General Mills invests in the Global Food Banking Network to establish and strengthen food banks across India, Brazil, China, Mexico, Hong Kong, and Singapore, so that perfectly good surplus food can be donated to charities that feed hungry people, not landfills. We are making a meaningful difference by donating our time and food expertise to improve African food systems through Partners in Food Solutions. And when natural disasters strike our communities, from hurricanes in Puerto Rico to the earthquake in Mexico City, General Mills is there to help recover and rebuild. From Sao Paulo to Shanghai, Mumbai to Mexico City, our volunteers make their communities a better place. General Mills' 83% employee volunteerism rate speaks volumes about the heartbeat of our company, our people. Together, we are a force for good. We are General Mills.
Right. So, force for good. Now, coming to the opportunity that you are all here for. So, at this time, the company is hiring for its bakery products division, right? And the role we are looking for is the sales trainee role, which reports into the area sales manager. Currently, there are opportunities in 10 cities across the country. And this is, as I mentioned, for the bakery products division, which works with bakeries in your neighborhood bakeries, which bake those cakes and breads and an assortment of savories and so on. So these are the target customers for this particular division. Now, as far as the role is concerned, before I leave you to read through, just keep in mind that there are 4 key parts to this role. One is the customer acquisition, which will involve getting more and more bakeries to start using General Mills products, right? The second is customer service and distributor management, which is about ensuring that service levels that the company promises to its customers are met. Could be in terms of quality, could be in terms of lead times, delivery times, right? And processing of claims and so on. Ensuring that trade promotions, customer promotions are all implemented and executed properly and so on. These are aspects of distributor management and customer service. The third is around the sales administration and reporting, right? And which is about ensuring that working with your local teams to ensure that proper reports and data that the company needs to take various decisions and for the purpose of sales administration, those are complied with. And the fourth is learning. So both through on the job as well as through classroom and other online programs that the company will undertake from time to time. Right. So these are the four key aspects of what is expected from the sales trainees in the first year. And now you can read through this part. So clearly the objective of the sales trainee program is to ensure that the trainees are able to operate independently upon completion of the training. In terms of the key accountabilities for the sales trainees, falling within these four areas that I spoke about, I'll leave you to read through this yourself. Okay, if you have read through, I'll move on. In terms of the competencies that the company is looking for this role. So this being a field sales role clearly requires a focus on action and results orientation, communication and interpersonal skills, because you will be working directly with the distributors, wholesalers and trade partners. Problem solving and analytical skills, and a certain degree of street smartness. Team players who enjoy working in fast-paced and demanding environment, hardworking, of course, I'm sure all of you are, self-motivated and result-oriented with a drive for innovation and enjoys challenges. Of course, at this early stage of your careers, I'm sure all of you would be ready and raring and to put in all the effort and drive the results that are required of you. In terms of the compensation for the sales trainees, the CTC in the first year will be 6.5 lakhs. This 6.5 lakhs includes 1 lakh joining retention bonus, which is a 2-year retention bonus. So this will be paid out in 2 tranches, 50,000 on joining and 50,000 on completion of 6 months. So this is inclusive in the 6.5 lakhs, right? Subsequently, on completion of the 6 months, there will be quarterly sales incentives, which will also be coming into play. The breakup of this 6.5 lakhs into various components, this shall be shared at a subsequent stage when the company is interacting with you for the candidates who are further down in the process. So the process for the days ahead. Very soon, you shall be informed about the schedule for the virtual assessment, which will be conducted by Yugma. So that I think will be scheduled within the next day or two. Then there will be the group discussion and personal interviews, which will be conducted in person at your campuses. And this will also be conducted by Yugma. And the third and final stage will be the final interview and selection by the General Mills team, which will be conducted virtually. So there will be this three-stage process, right? And that brings us to the end of the presentation. Please feel free to ask any questions about the company or about the opportunity. Happy to address those.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Shivam.
Sir, this is Shivam. Sir, can you please elaborate on what has been the company's growth amidst the pandemic and what will be like the future growth on a year-to-year basis, sir?
Okay, so the company has been growing steadily even during the pandemic, and as I mentioned that the pandemic opened up, in fact, new opportunities and new segments for growth, right? So the home baking segment which emerged, and that led to, in fact, a new products being introduced into the market. So clearly, the company has been is on a firm growth path and will continue to grow through both geographical expansion, reaching into new tiers of cities, as I mentioned, as well as through introduction of new products and managing its core product brand portfolio through different stages of their life cycles. Yeah. So the company will continue to grow strongly over the next few years.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I would like to know if, as a sales trainee, would we have to travel every day, see the clients, and so would be there any needs to travel to the clients, or would it be virtually connected?
Right. So see, as far as this sales trainee role is very much a field sales role. So yes, for sure, there will be I mean, visiting clients personally is going to be extremely that is a very core part of the job. So because see many of these, I mean, because the sales trainees will be based in those cities where the 10 cities that I spoke about, right? So yes, certainly it will entail market visits to meet customers and distributors pretty much on a daily basis.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
I'm Ambaneshwar, sir. I would just, as you mentioned earlier, that we'd only be working with the bakery segment. Would there be any opportunities to work with the other segments as mentioned in the portfolio of your company, sir?
At this moment, for this program, for the sales training program, the company is looking at hiring for the bakery segment because that is one key area of growth, right?
Yes, sir.
However, when I spoke about the different teams and certainly, I mean, after completion of the trainee and of the training, and given that the company has its operations in the retail segment as well as in the bakery and in the bakery and institutional segments, I think, I mean, I don't think those would be watertight compartments subsequently. But yes, during the training period, yes, it would be in the bakery segment.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for the wonderful introduction to the General Mills. My question is, you mentioned that you are MNC, but your approach is like a startup company. So I would like to know more about it. Like startup company, you mean introducing new products or some other
Yeah,
strategies which you follow?
typically, startups for primarily a few things really which distinguish startups, right? One is a strong focus on innovation, right? Innovation through, of course, in terms of product innovation, which is being conscious of proximity to customers and understanding customer needs and developing products. Second is innovation in their practices, whether it could be how you reach your customers, it could be channels, it could be technology to enable that, it could be in terms of your processes, right? And so innovation and agility, right? And being therefore understanding customer needs and being able to respond to them quickly. And this is really, I think, what is what one sees as factors which distinguish startups. And particularly for the employees within these companies, I think the one factor which is very important when working in a startup is your access to senior leaders, right? So typically, that is one thing which startups offer to people joining the company in terms of you have access to leaders within the organization, and that helps in your own development, right? So these are some things which that were also mentioned in that slide that I spoke about, and of course the opportunity for therefore individual development and fast tracking careers. So these are some of the factors which enables which where the company operates with the heart of a startup.
Good morning, sir. Venkat this side.
Yeah, Venkat, hi.
Hi, sir. So on what basis are we going to have incentives, and it is 100% sales driven, or like based on our 100% performance we are going to get it, or if it is achieved for 50% also we are going to get it, sir? And on what basis are we going?
Venkat, I'm sorry, I would not be able to address this at this stage. I think, as I mentioned, the breakup of the compensation as well as the parameters for the incentives, etc., will be discussed in a subsequent stage. Yeah.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Surya.
Yeah, sir. I'm Surya. I'm Surya from Trichy, sir. Sir, my question is, may I know what are the learnings I can expect apart from sales? What are the learnings I can expect?
When you are taking up a job in sales, I mean, sales it is itself a multi-dimensional discipline, right? It's not one skill, right? Sales itself is comprises of so many different sub skills, right?
Yes, sir.
And honestly, sales is not something which only salespeople do. So when you are getting a grounding in sales, no matter where you move into your career over the next 30, 40 years, selling skills is something which is required in every single career, right? Even if you go into say something of say a very different career like say technology, right? And you may
Yes.
think that even there you have to sell internally to your teams, to your seniors, to different departments within the company. So this is certainly during this program, the skills that you learn will not just be about selling atta, right? So the intent of the program is to build and develop people into a well-rounded professionals, and therefore there will be a lot of course, the more obvious parts that you will learn about are selling skills and working with the distributors and customer service and support and all of that, and of course sales reporting, administration, etc. And of course you will learn about the products, and there'll be product modules, etc. But
Okay.
also be I mean, in the course of all of these learnings, you will also acquire a lot more than what you may see or what you may think you are learning.
Okay, sir. Sir, and second one is when I can expect the second round of interview, like assessment.
The schedule will be shared with you, I think, after this discussion.
Because we are very eager to join a General Mills, so that's why I'm asking, sir.
Yes, I think Sanika, do you have the schedule shared with them, or is that going to be done subsequently?
We'll share it with them post by your day today.
Okay. Yeah. So as she said, it will be shared by end of day today. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Sir, again, I have a question, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
what is the future goal of General Mills? What are the plans you have?
So, I mean, see, the goals as far as India in particular is concerned, I think the company still has a huge opportunity for growth for the next several decades, right?
Hmm.
Given that there are so many secular trends like people moving into packaged foods, the how you are seeing new categories emerging within the packaged food space, right? You are seeing so categories which did not exist maybe even 3 or 5 years earlier, right? So
Hmm.
so so there is a huge amount of consumer pull happening currently, and so from that perspective, the company is also seeing in future a large opportunity to bring more and more brands across different categories into India. Plus, of
Hmm.
course, the organic growth of the existing brands. So it has Pillsbury Nata, for example, right? Now
Yes.
as there is I mean, it is a staple which is going to continue to grow. And then they are by introducing new variants. So as you know, you have more for example, millets is now
Hmm.
something which is now an emerging product segment, right? So there are product variants which are being introduced in this segment as well. So it's a continually developing and evolving category. And I mean, packaged foods is certainly a space which we expect will continue to grow very strongly over the next several decades in India as our per capita income rises and people move towards, people are more time pressured and the economic levels is improving, right? So,
Hmm.
given these two influences, there will be a larger and larger focus for, say, convenience food categories, as well as new varieties of packaged foods, processed foods, which shall come into play. So I think that's that, and of course, to support that, the company is investing in manufacturing facilities, logistics and distribution facilities, channels like e-commerce. So those investments are supporting uh, the growth that the market offers.
Yeah, fine, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Avinash, do you have a question? I'm sorry, I can't hear that at all.
నిమిషం వింటావా
Anika, if there are no other questions, if there are any other questions?
Seems I think we can wrap up now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you all for being here and for your interest in this. And as Sanika mentioned, the schedule shall be intimated by end of day. And wishing you all the best and hope to see you at General Mills.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.